come out on the
Welcome Home Radio Podcast. Are you looking to buy or sell your home? Our team is here with answers to guide you through the buying and selling process. We encourage you to ask questions. Please comment on this show or visit us at welcomehomeradio.net for more information. Bringing real estate, lending, and education together in one place, and to help you make the right home decision for you and your family.
And welcome to Welcome Home Radio. It is December 24th. This is where real estate lending and learning do come together, and we hope you're having a wonderful Christmas time with family, friends, and enjoying this holiday season. Guys, Merry Christmas to you. I hope you're having a great time and looking forward to what Santa Claus is bringing you tomorrow.
I can't imagine Thom is on the nice list. That's my first assumption.
I've already got my coal and my sticks.
There you go.
Oh, at least you're going to barbecue right after that. I'll give you mine. Hey, guys, we're still in the process of the series of Your Turn to Ask, and we've got some great questions lined up today. Thank you again. You can find us at welcomehomeradio.net, where you can ask your questions. Like and share these videos. It gets us out there a little bit more, but it also gets you more listeners, more questions to ask. This industry is really a gear for America, and they're trying to figure out how to make it happen, how to make it grow in the positive way. And I think the government is trying to do everything they can to help new buyers or upgrades moving along, just to make the industry move stronger, because it is the recession-proof industry and market that investors can like, as well as new home owners. So getting right to our first question. Welcome Home Radio. I need to sell my property in Florida. What can I do to make it more appealing? Well, a great question for sellers to be asking to get the attention. Inventory still tight overall. I think some markets are moving more than others, but I think one thing sellers need to really consider is helping those buyers, offering seller concessions, doing a 2-1 or a 3-1 buy down that will help those buyers become more attracted to that property. What else can we say for sellers to do to make their home a little more appealing?
My first thought on this was actually save your money, but Thom has done.
What do you mean? They're trying to sell their home. What do they mean?
Well, if I sit here and think, okay, I'm going to sell my home. Well, that wall's got a little bit of scuff mark on it, or I've got this little issues, or my flower beds need to be redone. The new owners may not like anything that you do in that nature. They may not like the color of paint that you chose. They may not like the bedding, the edging that you chose. So I think that's where I say save your money, but use the money more wisely, like you were just talking about in a system.
Seller concession. Give a concession for $5,000 in painting the home or fixing.
I mean, you're still spending some money at the closing table by giving concessions, but I think it's better to save your time and energy in that method. That's me personally. Because a good real estate agent or an investor who might be looking at your property, they'll be able to help their clients, quickly say, it's going to cost this much to do this. You got to think about this much if you want to make these changes when you have a professional leading you, I think.
But if you could paint your front door and that's a 400% ROI, I think you should do it.
Oh, if things in that kind of condition, yes, sir.
Simple things that you can do that. But yes, save your money. Thom, what do you think?
Well, I don't want to be too negative on buyers, but buyers don't tend to really have the vision that we might have in older shoes or realtors have because they've seen it in their experience says, I love the realtor that says, well, you can just knock out that wall and you can just repaint or you can just recarpet and those types of things that are basically cosmetic type of adjustments. It sounds really good to be able to do those things to the house and get more of a market price. But I would say buyers are normally in a situation where if they don't see it already there, they're not thinking I can change that. And especially those people in the first and second round of buying houses. So that's why people will pay too much for a brand new house because they can't see themselves fixing things that they could fix more economically because of the hassle.
Well, isn't that the way we learned the phrase laissez-faire? Let the buyer beware, by paying too much for the house? I mean,
well, I haven't been hanging out with a bunch of French people, but yeah, that would be a very good assessment.
Well, I mean, I give you an example on this. A neighbor right behind me, diagonally from us in the back, they were selling the house. It was on the market 65 days until finally a buyer came along. They had to drop the home price $100,000 to get this buyer because the buyer now, he still hasn't moved in. It's been 2.5 months. He's having total floors, all the wood ripped out of the backyard by the pool, doing major construction. And to make that home sellable in that light, and you're saying that family had a vision for things, but we saw rotting wood, simple things that just, if I could see them, then an inspector can see that. Simple things that you can do to help prepare that home to be ready as best possible is always what you want to do. I'm not saying go through major reconstruction, but, painting a room or painting something or upgrading a piece of wood and painting it just would do it. Hey, lipstick on a pig, at least help it to look a little bit better. But to make your home more appealing, yes, if you have an upfront offer of saying, look, I plan on giving $15,000 in seller concession, now that buyer can use that concession to do a buy down on their loan, or I can already do repair work that I see that I want to have done, or I'm going to replace that AC unit or that dishwasher or whatever it may be. So that's one of the key things. I didn't hear any other things outside of financial impact. What else can this person do to help their home become more appealing? I mean, how do you make a home more appealing? You can't move it. Good picture.
One of the number one things that does end up on the list as far as for showing a house is declutter.
Declutter, yes.
Good point.
Come a little closer, Grandpa. I can't hear you on your mic.
People don't want to see your junk out there, They want to see what the house would look like so they can vision their junk in it.
Yeah, there you go. That's exactly right. That is a good point. And decluttering, as you see in my office alone, I'm not good at it.
What is that coat hanger doing? And I'm happy to see your wife uses the same coat hangers as my wife.
Hey, I put my coat on the back of my chair. I
noticed there's no coat back there, and you're not wearing one. So,
oh well. Okay, well, I hope we helped you, Florida. Good luck in the sale of your home. Next question is, Welcome Home Radio. My insurance has increased to a concerning point. What's going on? Well, I mean, I think this is for everybody. If you're not challenging or getting quotes every year on your insurance right now, you should be. Because insurance costs have gone up across the board. There's not a single insurance company that has not raised rates. But if you're shopping it on a regular basis, you tend to keep people on their toes. Unfortunately, I mean, there are states that have kicked out or insurance companies have walked out of, like California. Many insurance companies have left California
And Florida.
just due to natural disasters. But understand, a hurricane on the East Coast still affects Texas insurance rates, believe it or not. A tornado in Kansas affects our insurance rates because it's across the board. So always, always, always be getting quotes at least once a year.
So Blair, those insurance companies, if they pull out of California, then should I find them because they'll give me a better rate and a better deal? Because
if you're not in California. Yes, I would. I mean, I'm blessed to have USAA. I dropped them for a while for some of their silliness about 3% required 3%
deductibles.
3% deductible here in Plano, Texas.
Really?
My home. So I'm back to them right now.
Did they drop that requirement, or did
drop
they?
The requirement?
Mm-hmm.
So they'll do 1% and 2% now.
Yep.
I'm not trying. I know that they went up that high, and that's something else people don't realize when they talk about insurance. You nowadays have to become somewhat of an expert on insurance itself and knowing what an HOA 1 is versus an HOB 1. I mean, the deductible piece is a huge factor.
Okay, help us. I know ABC and XYZ. What's HOB?
Well, an HOB coverage usually doesn't have the same liability coverage as far as repairs are concerned when you have a damage in a storm. The HOA ones will cover you more with realistic current cost reclamation value to recover your entire losses. So there's levels that they put on your insurance that you got to have an awareness about. Am I going to get part of what the cost is, costing me, or is it better to get one type of policy that would recover all the costs involved that are at current rate? So there's
I agree that you should go through your insurance policy and understand it extensively. That you understand water damage from pipe busting is different than water damage through a flood. And if you're in a flood zone, if you're not in a flood zone, electrical damage, whether storm damage, I mean, there are so many little tidbits below that underwriters, you can have this off, like hail damage. You can take that off the insurance. Of course, cost goes down, or your deductible, but you have to understand what that means. On my home, I'm not going to pay a 3% deductible on an $800,000 home on the roof. $24,000 anytime my roof is repaired. I'm paying for the whole thing myself. They're not paying anything.
Exactly.
So,
it was cheaper for me to replace a roof on my rental property than it was for me to call the insurance company and then get the hike that they were going to give me afterwards on the next year.
And you're very accurate in saying you need to be aware of things like this. That's why, again, I say you shop, get educated, talk to somebody you trust, go to an agent. I mean, I use USAA. There's not an agent there, but it's because my wife has become so proficient being an accountant. She's so detailed. I leave that to her. But the bottom line is an agent can walk you through. Now, making sure their commission is not 16% on everything you're doing. That's another thing. But the bottom line is insurance costs go up, and it's a very concerning thing for homeowners. You need to be shopping it. I think that's the only thing we can do. Is there anything else we can do to help monitor and watch that increase, keep it from happening?
Go ahead, Jeff. Jeff wants to say something profound.
I do have a question, and maybe Thom, since as far as you, either one of you might have a great answer, but do you think when an adjuster, I mean, in our area, we hailstorms every year, big ones, small ones, it's constant, right?
Golly,
in our area, though, does an adjuster go out to my house, let's say, look at it, and yes, you have hail damage. Do they tend to push to say you need to replace the roof, let's get it done? Or do they try to hold off if it doesn't have to be? For example, there's a lot of roofs that if your roof is, let's say, 5 years old, hailstorm comes through, hits you up, hits you again. Well, if you're not linking and it's not destroyed, but you have some hail damage, is an adjuster still going to push you to go ahead and get that done? Or do they do their best to omit and not replace that roof?
I think this is a great question. I think it goes back to what Thom is saying about being educated. When we got our roof done last time, we upgraded the roofing material to, and I'm trying to remember what it's called, deck poly or something, but it's a urethane coating on top that it takes in the impact of hail, but it doesn't impact the roof. It's like a blockage, like your shoulder pads in football. An adjuster in there going and trying to sell me you've got hail damage. Okay, yeah, I've got damage, but is it damaging the roof below, right, or is it just peripheral on the surface? And that roof is not going to be changed in my lifetime now. I mean, that's the expectation that we have.
You're not going to make it to 130 like Thom?
Oh, I'm not making it to 130 like Thom. I'm not making it to 100. I mean,
it's because you got all that insurance.
Yeah, that becomes a liability to us old guys.
I mean, all my wife has to do is find one of those laundry plastic sacks and put it over my head. And I died of sleep apnea.
I can see that.
Did you find somebody's plans or something?
Yes, she watches those shows on TV, and I'm like, why are you watching this How I Got Away with It show?
Now we know where Thom will be New Year's Eve. Okay. I think it's knowledge. I really do. And monitoring yourself, trusting that evaluator, adjuster to come in. You've got to know them, because yes, there can be used car salesmen out there. It's found in the HVAC industry, the car industry, the roofing, all of that, pools. I mean, you've got shysters that oversell and underdeliver. So you've got to be able to trust them. Plus, you've got to be able to understand. I mean, it's just like that appraiser that takes out a drone to go look at and appraise a home. I'm sorry, if you're not getting up on the roof, I don't want you as an appraiser. I want you to evaluate that roof. Tell me what's the value, and is it got damage that is critical to our future financial investment? Because the lender, everybody should understand, I'm putting more money into the game than you are to buy this home for you. I want to know. So I think answering your question is, you've got to be able to trust them, and they got to be believable. And I also think they should be bonded to the point that insurance is possibly be used if something has taken place and they checked it out and it didn't end up the way it was, or the way it should have been. Anything else about insurance increases?
I mean, the one thing I'd say to add is, you said at the very beginning, always shop, keep shopping, keep looking. And you said there's some shysters as well as there's some great agents out there. But a solid agent, if they see anything changing, they should also be contacting you and saying, hey, look,
proactive.
You know about this. They absolutely need to be proactive. So keep that in mind. As if you've been with a company for a year or two, even though you're shopping, if you stay with them, they should still be letting you know about changes, because they do happen consistently.
Agreed. Totally agreed. Hey, we got to move on. Our final question today. WHR, with higher rates, higher living costs, higher taxes, and insurance, as we just discussed, less affordability. When will home prices come down? Wow. This is a loaded question. And I did a little research on trying to find a few things going on. One, foreclosures are growing at a trend in the last quarter of 2025, extremely high. People not able to afford, whether it's taxes or insurance, because if they're under a fix, or if they did an ARM just to get in there. So home cost is living, plus cost of just taking care of the home, maintenance, fueling the home, warming the home, all of those things go along with it. home prices, is it going to come down? As soon as we have an impact of a larger inventory, that will impact it. But I think home builders are purposely leveling off their building to maintain their pricing in each development. They've got plans. They want to sell homes at this price or grow it from this price. They never want to revert back. And therefore, they're going to slow their building. And I sit on a board with one large home builder that is already doing this. He's got 400 home division. He's not changing dirt on right now for this exact reason, to maintain that inventory at a higher cost. So tighter levels, foreclosures going up. It's going to take some very interesting things. I think interest rates have got to come down to make an impact. And what do y'all think?
It's like you said from the very beginning. It's a tough question because there's so many things that go into play there, but what we don't see is anything really stopping in a tremendous rate, right? As far as the growth of DFW, and it's not just here; it's everywhere. So it's hard to see that that's going to happen when, even though some of the builders have slowed down, they're still going. And of course, we've seen so many in the last how many years, so many more apartment complexes still going up. Now, that affects the builders too. Are they going to slow down because people decide to live in an apartment longer? Does that make sense?
It does. I mean, I'm looking at I found the foreclosure map, let's just say, and right now, East Coast and West Coast have the largest foreclosed properties because they have the largest pricing. Mm-hmm. They got people buying homes way above a true appraisal value. And so they're getting foreclosures. Well, as we look at the rate, and I'm looking back from 2008, as we've talked about, where that was really, hey, that was the year of the bust. And then, of course, 2009 through 2011, I mean, foreclosures were happening at $1 million a year rate plus. Then they finally started coming down in 2013. I think we might see some of the same if you've overshot yourself, if you've overextended yourself. People coming from California that sold a home, moving to Texas or Oklahoma or somewhere, they were able to put cash down and they own their home outright. So they'll always have the equity. They want to maintain it. But again, I don't think home prices are coming down anytime soon unless we really see a jobs report that just drops out at the end or interest rates drop. Would you agree, Thom?
Well, I mean, what I'm always hoping for is a nice little good recession. So are we in a recession yet? No, we're not. Are we seeing those marketplaces on the East Coast and West Coast overpriced and recessing? Yes, we are. And does that have, no matter what we do and how perfect we think our economy is in Texas, we're still a national economy type situation. And those are usually markets that lead our circumstances here in Texas as far as recessions are concerned. So, I'm not a doomsday person. If we have a recession, it won't be close to what we had in 2007 and 8. But inevitably, when you live in a capitalistic society, there's ups and there's downs. And I've lived through 4 of those in my lifetime that I can pronounce that was a recession clearly that affected me. Are we in store for our next one? Yeah, we're getting closer to that.
So how bad was it after the dinosaurs were extinct?
Well, once the meteor hit and we all crawled out from our caves that we had protected ourselves in, we realized we were going to have to do a lot of rebuilding.
I thought it was the water coming into his cave that kind of concerned him a little bit.
The leaky cave was really a tough deal.
Hard to keep that fire going.
Again, home prices coming down. I don't see any indicators for that in the short term. The long term,
the increase has slowed at least.
Yes, it has.
I think that maybe look at some positive that way. They're not increasing as quickly as they were. So But yes, I have not heard or seen anything that we're going.
That's where I think the home builders have purposely pulled off from building those standard spec homes in subdivisions, planned communities, that sort of thing, because they know they got to if they're going to maintain their pricing or not to make the profit they want.
And there are a couple of groups that I've spoke with, and I may have to be working with one of them soon, in that they're buying some of these developments from the builders who are slowing down because, like you said, the cost or their holding cost is becoming so much. But what they're doing with these communities is they are building a less expensive home, as far as it's not the $900,000, but they're keeping it in more affordable. But they're making these all rental communities.
What's more affordable?
I'm sorry?
Well,
define more affordable.
Clearly, 836,
375,
50. Yeah, exactly.
370. I mean, comparatively speaking to today, that's more affordable. But they're creating those as full rental communities because they control the rent price in the community that way, obviously, just like a whole apartment complex. So that we're seeing that happen a little bit. That's increased a little bit.
Is that still called an HOA?
I don't know what they're going to do with that there.
Well, the thing is, the developer can rewrite the HOA. They may have said in their HOA that nobody can own more than 10%.
Yeah, sometimes that happens.
They still have the ability to, because they have more than a 51% controlling interest. They go in and they rewrite what the HOA is with these first home buyers in the neighborhood who are going, wait, stop that. And they're going, no, we can't. Would you rather us sell houses and finish the neighborhood, or would you rather us walk away and just leave vacant lots everywhere?
Mm-hmm.
Not a real good choice. Don't you like it when Uncle Blair goes?
He fell asleep on us. That was a great comment. You put him to sleep, Thom.
Yeah, I tell you what. Instant karma on the sleep apnea. He's
That's
still
like
not coming back.
That's like for real.
Well, folks, that's all, folks.
Maybe he'll wake up in a minute and we'll get some more out of him.
I don't know. Maybe he'll take.
You know, I do. There he is.
He can hear us clearly.
I understand. I can hear you, even though I may be frozen.
Hey, Blair, you mentioned the foreclosure market and what's in the increase from what's showing. I do want to take just a second and remind folks that if you get in that position, everybody gets embarrassed. We're all human beings. We go through it. But I can tell you, even up to a week before a foreclosure, if you look for some help and reach out, especially some people that you have equity in your homes, it can happen. You can still make a closing happen. People think, oh, the ugly banks, they want to take my house, they want to kick us out. They really do not like to foreclose. It costs them money. An average of 25 to 30, I've been told at times, $1,000 by the process and what it costs them to do that. So just keep in mind, reach out, WHR through Blair. But we've done closings that a buyer finds a house, the agent put it on the market, buyer comes up in a couple days, it's priced right, and we were able to close, and they pulled it off the foreclosure. So even at one point, I'll tell you a quick story. We had a place here locally that we helped somebody out with. They were going to walk away with nothing, but because it was a very large home, it was over $1 million home, but because at the last minute we were able to get that closing done, they walked away with about $23,000 they were going to lose. And so just reach out, ask for help. It's there. Okay. I just want to remind everybody that they're in that position.
Well, I want to wish y'all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you for listening. Share and like us, please, and find us at welcomehomeradio.net. Oh, we want to wish you a great new 2026 year as we go into it. Ask questions. Be aware that we're here to help you, to get you to clear to close on whether you go through that awesome thing called foreclosure, which I have done, and there is an other side life after that. But the market's trying to come back. There are many things, many impacts that are going to happen, and we'll see what takes place, but we'll be here to help you. I'm Blair Thomas.
I'm Thom Holm.
I'm Jeff Duffy. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year and God bless.
Happy New Year.
Welcome Home Radio production provided by Lunatic Digital. Check the listing of this podcast for the links to our sponsors. And don't forget to like, share, and follow us on social media. Visit welcomehomeradio.net for more information.
This was a Lunatic Digital production. Visit lunaticdigital.com for all your digital needs.